What is a fair allowance for a 16-year-old?
I can tell you this, in the 1950s, it was $5, because that's what I got. I think my girls, they were like that age, maybe in the 1970s or so. They probably got about 20. And I think our latest, which was not that long ago, you gave him 50.
Ooh. I want to come be one of your kids, Maury. That's some good money. Me growing up, I didn't get any because my mother was cheap and my father was broke. So it was like, you're not getting anything. So maybe I did get $5. So $19.50 for you, $19.90, I was still getting $5. But my kids now, the more that they show me they can succeed is how I base their allowance. So the more that they do well in school, do after school activities, I'll go up to about $30, the max. I haven't gotten to 50 yet, Maury, so you're gonna have to tell me how you got there because I'm a little cheap myself, but 30 is probably the max for me.
Have your kids ever seen you cry?
My kids have seen me cry many times. I actually come from a household where the men thought you gotta hold it in, you can't show any emotion, and I used to think that's what you had to do until one day it all exploded and I was like sobbing in the middle of a grocery store and this woman was like, "You all right, baby?" So now I like to make sure that if I have feelings, I let it out. I realize that my vulnerability is a strength. And so my kids have seen it, they've adapted that as well.
My older daughters, who are well into their adult years, they've seen me cry, but mostly at funerals, like when my father died, when my mother died.
Yeah.
Our son was too young at the time, but you know, he's seen me cry when I have been so upset with him. At the same time, I'm trying to show him love.
Oh.
And so I'm so emotional about it that I cry.
When did you give your kids the birds and the bees talk?
With my daughters, it was a difficult time in my life because I was separated and divorced from their mother. So unfortunately, I never got a chance to do that. And I regret that. But at the same time, when it came to our son, I let a person a lot more intelligent than I do the deed. And that was Connie Chung, my son's mother. And she did it. I think the last thing, as she left the conversation, I think she threw a prophylactic on his bed.
Oh my gosh, that gives me such an amazing image of Connie Chung throwing that on somebody's bed. Oh my gosh, my day is made right now. I gotta tell you, with my boys, I had to start having the conversation quickly because nowadays, with the access to internet, you know, they were learning more about sex from people who were producing pornography versus than what it is in real life. And I was like, nah, I can't wait any longer because you're already 10, you're seeing stuff on your phone, not in my house because it was a child block, but once you would go to school. So I realized the conversation had to start quickly. And I think you can ask them what they understand and use that as a jumping off point instead of going to where you think they are. That's a healthy way to sort of have the conversations. But now I'm kind of jealous that I have Connie Chung to teach me.
What's something you've learned from your kids?
Ooh, something I've learned from my kids is to never stop smiling. You know, life gets you really easy when you're thinking about bills and thinking about your dreams. And I realized that my kids have such a sense of humor that no matter where we were in life, they would find time just to laugh and have fun. And I told myself I never want to forget that.
With my daughters, when they were getting older, I was going through some rough times. I had several jobs. I was fired. I was hired. I lived in very different cities. And I think their love kept it real for me in terms of family. And I thank them for that. And with our son, I mean, I think more than anything else, as I got older, and we had him as I got older, he just makes me feel young.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they know so much more than you knew at the age. And so that's what he's done for me. I mean, he makes me feel young.
Maury, what you just said about your daughters is why I still want to have one more kid. I'm like, I need a little girl because like I want that unconditional little girl love. Boys are great, but I now want a daughter.
What's a bad habit your kids have picked up from you?
One of my daughters talks in a very loud voice. Hello. That's one of the bad things, as my wife says. I think more than anything else, all of them have picked up the fact that sometimes I don't listen.
That's surprising. You're the best listener I know. I've seen you with these guests.
That's
crazy.
it. See, Connie always wants to be with the guy she sees on television, not the guy who comes home every day.
I think I have that problem too in my relationships as well. The thing I think that my kids have picked up from me that is unfortunate is my patience. I have low patience, and sometimes I'm quick just to be like, no, I can't. I don't want to hear it. Like.
Oh, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm
you
there
just
too.
get really snippy.
No question. I want to leave the room as fast as I can.
Exactly. And so sometimes I see my kids doing that, and I'm like, I hate that they picked that up from me.
Has fame changed the way you father your kids?
I am so down on fame. I never really, my kids, never to my face did they ever tell me that I was a celebrity or that other people knew who I was. They don't think of me that way. And I think they just don't want to give me a big head.
I'm with you, Maury. I think that's the best way to raise your kids. I do share my work, but I share it in the sense of not like the glitz and glamour, but like these are the hardworking people that I work with. This is how their families are. This is what I've been through. And I think that just gives them a sense of this is what's really important in life.
The thing is with my kids, when their friends hear who their father is, they're shocked.
Yeah,
their friends are shocked. They can't believe that I'm the father of these three.
What advice do you have for new fathers?
Be patient with yourself. You're not going to know it all. You're going to learn things along the way. But the more honest you can be in communicating with your children, the more honest you can be with communicating with your partner is going to be key. And I think remembering that your children are watching you at all moments. And so, the things that, annoy you about your parent or the way that you were raised, understand that your child is going to be developing those same feelings. So think about how you're moving through this world.
I would say to new fathers, okay, now it's been proven with science over the years, kids can process things very early in life. Mm-hmm. So the earlier you get involved in your infant's life, the better it is. And I should like to tell all the fathers out there, get your hands dirty. Changing diapers means a lot. And you can then brag to your child later on, I was there to change your diaper.
What's the best Father's Day gift you ever received?
I would say I really appreciate the things more that they put their heart into. I can't remember any of the slippers or robes they gave me. I don't know where they are, or tools. One year they gave me tools. I was like, what do you give me tools?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with this? But when they write me something, I have a box that I save everything they ever written because that's when you get to, just feel really special. Like, I did this right, Dad. I got it nice.
My mother hated Father's Day and Mother's Day. She hated it because she believed that every day was Father's Day and Mother's Day. Whoever thought that there was only one day a year that you could love your parents? But I think more than anything else, when it comes to great Father's Day gifts, it's the phone call.
Oh, yes.
It's the phone call from my children. And the last thing they say is, Dad, I love you. And that's the best gift I think any father can have.
You are not the father.